Canary Wharf is 128 acres mixed-use community. It's a place for people to work, live and visit. We have already 8 residential buildings, in total over 2,200 apartments that's completed, and we're building another over 2,000 apartments at the moment.
Been at Canary Wharf Contractors for just over 7 years, starting in 2017, which coincides with our relationship with Disperse.
We met Disperse end of 2017, and it was a startup company. They came to see us, and at that time we offered them one of our first projects on woodwork development as a trial for 6 months. And at the end of that 6 months, the feedback we have received, it was amazing.
The focus of Disperse is to support the largest construction projects of the world. And when we started off, the largest urban redevelopment project in the whole of Europe was Woodworth. And Canary Wharf also had this really interesting challenge where, while the company had for several decades been one of the largest builders of really big office buildings, it has never built large-scale residential projects before, and there's just so much more complexity with dealing with residential work than with office work.
And our big driver was how we would improve looking at the finishes cycle of residential buildings, which have always been challenging, which is again primarily why I was interested in the technology and how it worked, because historically trying to get data that's both honest, reliable and consistent always becomes a challenge.
With scale, it's just impossible to stay on top of things. That is even the case when you are talking about a 20 apartment building or so on, right? As in a great construction manager that is perfect on a smaller project just can't deal with the complexity of just all the different moving bits and pieces that are all so intertied with each other, right? On a larger job, right? I think, okay, we have to create something that is extremely simple for the team, where lots of the burden of capturing and analyzing the data is taken away from the team, so they can focus on what they love doing and what they do best, which is running the project, not documenting it.
My role is to oversee the development here at Woodworth, overseeing the various project teams, working across circa sort of 8 to 10 buildings, mainly residential, but also retail and public realm. Some of the benefits to relationships between directors when using Disperse is that we're all singing off the same hymn sheet. We've all got the same progress chart, same data, so that helps communicating where we are and where we need to be.
For me, walking around site takes me 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, which I haven't got. With Disperse, I can do it in minutes. I can flick through all the problem areas that I know, and it's just click of the switch. It's click, 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 there you're there.
It takes a lot of time to work, 8 buildings varying from 50 stories to 12 stories, to get through all those floors on a weekly basis can take up a lot of time. So Disperse, I can do that on the train, do it at home, I can do it at work. So it really releases a lot more time for me to get on with the work.
In an afternoon, I can update myself on the progress across all those buildings. That would have never been something that could have ever happened before. More importantly, that day I work from home, I can do that. So I can be present here when I'm at home. Now that's something that would have never have been possible in construction.
Open up the Tuesday and straight away go to the spotlights, because they highlight what's changed from the week before. I also look at the progress bars. So I know that there should be works being carried out on certain floors. So the progress bars will tell me if they're static or they've moved forward.
My main concern will be to look at and see, has levels 2 to 4 progressed, or have they sat still? And if they've sat still, why? And I can see how long they've sat still for, or I can see when they've moved. So it's just, without speaking to anyone, I can update myself, which then, with that information, I will then go to the teams and say, right, I've just had a look. We need to push these floors on because we're due to hand them over. Why have they sat still?
Some unique ones is definitely with the introduction of the Building Safety Act is the ability to demonstrate where we've installed certain elements, we can go back in time to demonstrate to the local authorities or to inspectors, fire stopping has been installed in these locations because it's been picked up on Disperse. So that's helped. That's helped a lot.
Disperse helped us to improve our current working practices by coming to site, taking photos, and within 48 hours, we've got the photos and progress on our dashboard. And that improved a lot the way we work, because we now don't have to send our managers to go and take photos on site and download it somewhere, where probably later you'll never find it or no one else will find it. That's just step one, the photo. Step two is actually having the progress, where we receive reports, weekly reports of the progress reports, and within a click I know where the project is. And not only me, project directors, the most important.
My apprehension was the ability for all the staff to use the software and to engage with it, and I was concerned that we'd be paying a lot of money and nobody would use it. But to the contrary, actually, we found that all the construction managers, young and old, project managers, commercial managers, have all engaged with it and are using it on a regular basis.
It's so simple to use. Timing, once you get used to using it, it's very easy. I use it quite a lot.
Disperse improved the way we deliver our projects.